Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've posted. I think it's actually been over a month. So I do apologise. I know a few people had asked if I was getting a video out, which is really nice. Obviously, some of you are waiting for a video. But the reason I didn't get a video out is just because Chicago training's just not been how I pictured it to be. And I felt like the videos just were sort of becoming the same thing and a little bit boring, and I just wasn't really feeling it anymore. So I had continued my Chicago training, and actually when I stopped filming, my training actually got better. I wasn't suffering with my knee injury anymore, and my runs were just getting a lot better. I did an endurance race, Hell on the Humber, which is just basically, you could choose how many hours you do. It was 6 hours, like the lowest you can do. So I did 6 hours, and you just run as many times as you can back and forth over the bridge in these 6 hours. And you got to finish within like the last half an hour. So it's 6 p.m. till midnight. So obviously I've got to finish between half 11 and 12. My plan was to do 20 miles because I knew if I could do 20 miles, then I could do the marathon. And I actually ran really, really well. I ran 20 miles and then I walked 4 miles. So the laps are obviously 4 miles. It's 2 there, 2 back. So yeah, I did 24 miles that night and I felt really strong. I felt like it gave me a huge confidence boost going into Chicago. I know that it's unlikely that I'll be going for my time of 4:44 due to injury. I just feel like it's just sort of been a slog of a training, and mentally, it's been really, really tough. It's really hard not to compare it to where I was last year. So obviously this time last year was exactly a year since I did Berlin. Obviously I watched the Berlin Marathon yesterday. And I was obviously like in complete peak fitness. I got a huge 48-minute PB last year at Berlin. I did my sub-hour, everything. I just paced the whole race perfectly. I've never ever ran a race in any distance like I ran Berlin Marathon. And then obviously a week later I went on to run London Marathon, where I got a huge course PB by like I think it was like nearly 2 hours. Did it like 30 minutes slower than Berlin, and it was still a huge course PB. So like I like to even think that I did that is just worlds away. So that's why I decided to stop filming, because I just feel like I wasn't fully training due to my injury. And then while I've also not been filming, it'll be 3 weeks ago now that I was involved in a car accident where another driver ran into the back of me when I was stationary going high speed, and he ripped my car off and his own car, and that obviously pushed me into another car. So it ended up being about 3 or 4 cars involved in the end. Obviously I say my car's written off. They are trying to fix it because it was a fairly new car. I'd only had it in February. It's going to cost the driver a lot of money, but obviously that's a story for another day. So at the minute, it is written off, but it isn't. But yeah, it's just one of those things. So obviously, that obviously put me back. I couldn't run all week then, and that happened on Great North Run week. So it was just awful, because Great North Run was something I was looking forward to. It's my absolute favourite race. I was in hospital all day Tuesday when the accident happened, so I couldn't run. And I didn't run at all that week. And then obviously I had the GNR, the Great North 5K on the Friday, obviously park run, and then the Great North Run, and that was my plan. So originally I was going to run the Great North 5K to see where I was at, whether I could run the Great North Run at all, because I was suffering quite severe headaches. I still suffer with them now and again 3 weeks on. And I took my race stuff to the 5K start, but I made the decision not to race it. I just thought I'll give myself another day's rest. So I didn't race it. I watched Stuart and Graham race it. I met Mo Farah.
Good luck, Sunday. Sorry to see you.
Okay? Can I get a fist bump? Yes!
It's been good though.
Yes, fist bump off Mo Farah. which was great. I was able to watch the 5K race as well. It was lovely, really good fun. Obviously a bit jealous not to be doing it, but it is what it is. Then on Saturday we did Jesmond Dean Park Run, which I filmed. I will get that video out for you this week. And I did a very steady run walking, and that was obviously my first run since the car accident, and it went well considering the course is hard and I'd not run all week and everything. And I didn't film Great North Run because I filmed it last year. I really enjoyed it, but it was really tough. But it, you know, I still managed to do it. So I was really chuffed. It was such a fab day's Great North Run. So yeah, a week later after the Great North Run, I had the Humber Coastal Half. That was a free place gifted by my friend. He won a free place, but he was pacing, so he gifted it to me. And I decided to sit in with the 2:15 paces, and I was like, I could do 2:15. I paced 2:20 not so long ago. You know, I'm more than capable of running a 2:15 half marathon, but the problem is I'm just not mentally there with my running. So I set off with the 2:15 pace, and I actually felt incredibly good. Like, I felt really strong and I was enjoying it. Clocked was just coming up to like sort of I was about 2.5 miles in, and I took quite a nasty fall. I'm not sure what I tripped over, if I tripped over anything or if I just fell. But yeah, it was quite a fall, and I got up and it was a bit of a shock. It was all a bit emotional. There was a lot going on. There was people everywhere. People asking me if I was okay. Lovely people, obviously, giving up their run to walk with me. I was absolutely covered in mud because we was on an off-road section, and it was just, yeah, I just felt filthy. Just covered in mud from head to toe, all down my arm, all down my leg, you know, just everywhere. But I did start running. I did catch up the 2:15 paces, but after about 5 miles, my leg was just so bad. The blood was getting worse and worse, and my leg was swelling. So by that point, I was run walking. So disappointing, because I don't know what I would have done if I didn't fall. But I'm hoping that's my free bad luck. So they say it comes in free. So I've had knee injury, car accident, and a fall at a half marathon. So I'm hoping when I get to Chicago, everything will be all right. But yeah, so that's sort of an update of why I've not sort of filmed, and then everything's sort of been a bit chaotic for me at the minute. So all good fun. But that's it really. I am going to do filming when I'm out in Chicago. My Berlin and London videos are sort of all as one. I think what I'll do this time is do a bit of Chicago Expo, and I don't know if I'll do a filming of the race or not. Sort of like, because I've lost motivation with my running, I've sort of lost motivation with everything at the minute, and do want to get back into it. So I will see, but I'll definitely do a lot of filming of Chicago, and I am doing the Chicago 5K the day before, so I will film that if we're allowed, because in America, I know with Boston they are a bit funny with you filming. I think you can film but not for payment purposes. I don't know if you can film at actual Chicago. I'll have to check it out. I think you can if you're not doing it for like sponsorship, or is that the word, like money and stuff, if you're just doing it like for me, with my few hundred followers, which I obviously appreciate. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to do a lot of filming out there. That'd be really good. I'm really excited to go. Obviously I'm really nervous because do feel so unprepared. I've never felt so unprepared for a marathon. Last year's Berlin training went so well. It's just a shame I didn't get my DJI until the end, obviously, because that filming would have been great. And I think when I went into the Chicago training, I expected it to be like Berlin, and I had a plan of how I wanted to do this. And I see other YouTubers sort of vlogging their training, and I was like, that's how I want mine to be. And then everything just sort of went rubbish. So it's really disappointing. And it's got to the point now where I'm just wishing that Chicago is done, which is such a shame because it's such an opportunity to do this marathon. And I feel really disappointed that this opportunity is sort of like not being used to its full potential because of injury and everything that's gone on. But you know, at the end of the day, it's another star. I'm on this 6-star journey. It'll be star number 3. I've still got 3 stars, and I'll go again next year. I think we're going to try again for New York next year. So I'll, after the Chicago training, really take a good rest and then get back on it. Train ready for next year's marathon if I do one, if I get in and everything. But yeah, so I just wanted to do an update for you guys of why the training sort of stopped suddenly. And obviously, just want to say I do appreciate you and all the support. When I was training, obviously I still trained, but not with the camera. But I will get back to filming and getting some content out. I do miss it. So hopefully I get the Jesmond Dean one out this week, and I hope you all enjoy it. And yeah, thanks again for all your support, guys. Do really, really appreciate it. So yeah, that's it really, because other than my Jesmond Dean, my next videos will be the Chicago Marathon. So wish me good luck, because I don't feel like I can do it at the minute. You know, it's not going to be fast, it's not going to be pretty, but hopefully I can get round and just enjoy the day. You know, we go again next year chasing times. This year's just about enjoyment. So yeah, thanks again, guys. And I'll see you on the next adventure, which will be the parkrun one. Thanks again.